Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more hip hop news. Now, a topic I don't really discuss as much as I should is discussing the female artists or the female rappers in the game. And one of the most legendary female rappers in the game we have is Trina. And this slip and slide artist who helped create some of the female artists we know and love today. Now, Lil Kim gets a lot of credit for that. Not in the sense of like content of being expressing sexuality and things like that. You have to go back to a Trina and a Foxy Brown, even a Eve to some degree. But I think Trina set the trend for the artists that are out today as far as being able to be brave enough to broach these subjects and being express themselves and being able to be free and not put it in a box as far as being an artist and just rapping ladylike and things like that, but are expressing their feelings and bringing the ratchetness, I like to say, to the game. I was listening to Sexy Red the other day, and I thought about this. A lot of Trina's DNA musically is in Sexy Red's artistry and what she does today. It's just more vulgar, and it's more, and it's less coded as it used to be. Like a Genuine's Pony song was coded back in the day for what it really meant. But now it's just more out in the open, and Sexy Red and artists like that have that in their music. Whether you think about a Meg Thee Stallion, a Cardi B, a Doja Cat, a Flo Milli, all of them have Trina's DNA in their music. And it's evident if you listen to Trina's music and then you listen to a Sexy Red or Cardi B, those artists all have to thank Trina for their skill set and for them to be able to even broach these topics and put out this type of content for it to be acceptable today. Because Trina wasn't the most commercially successful because her music was seen as ahead of its time, even though Trina and Foxy Brown, even Lil Kim and Foxy Brown came before her. But that was a different era. In the 2000s, they started to clean up hip hop a little bit more. So Trina's music wasn't more acceptable as a Sexy Red's album would be today, or music today, or even a Cardi B, um, her music would be today. Even Nicki Minaj, so Nicki Minaj as well has to thank Trina for what she did. And then Trina, when you think about when she first came out, she was under the guidance of Slip and Slide Records and Trick Daddy. So her introduction into Trina, we had, You Don't Know Now, Shut Up, Take It to the House. She had all these great hits with Trick Daddy, but then she parlayed that into a solo career where she had the baddest B and pull over. But unfortunately, she didn't really have longevity in the game. She put out, I believe, around 5 albums, but only two were really commercially successful. Because, like I said before, she was at a time when they were trying to clean up the music industry and trying to clean up the sound. And she was pretty much a victim of that system back then. And plus, she didn't have the resources that these other artists had. Lil Kim had affiliations with Biggie and Bad Boy Records, and she had bigger budgets of that time. We know, um, Lil Kim, what she had affiliations with, as far as that whole crew, even the Junior Mafias. Um, but and then Foxy Brown had access to Jay-Z and Rockefeller and all these different budgets. And of course, Nicki Minaj, we don't have to talk about the budget she had with Lil Wayne, Drake, and Baby and Slim and what that Cash Money, Young Money crew had. Trina never had that. She only had, Trick Daddy and probably a slew of producers of what they had. But I believe if she had the same resources that they had, she would have been a lot more successful. Um, but I was thinking about, is she top 5 female rapper of all time? So I know metrically she's not because, uh, top 5 metrically would be Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim, Missy Elliott, Doja Cat, and Cardi B. But sonically and skill wise, um, I think she could be up the top. But I can't put Trina above Nicki Minaj because of her longevity and how long she's been doing it, commercial success, all that stuff, and skill set. Lil Kim or Missy, because the impact that they had. Lil Kim was one of the first artists to ever express sexuality, especially as a female artist. Missy, what she was able to do as producer, a writer, a songwriter, a singer. She's just so versatile, and her skill set is just so unique. I can't put Trina above her because Trina couldn't do all of that. Um, Even though, like I said, they had way more resources than Trina ever had. And they had more access to writers and producers, executives, and creative minds and all that thing. She was pretty much doing it on her own. Um, but I can't put Cardi and Lauren above her because they don't have the longevity. I mean, they have the skill set, but Lauren Hill only put out, 2 albums as with the Fugees, and then she had that one solo album that was phenomenal. But I just can't give you credit when you don't have the longevity. For whatever reason, she just didn't have the longevity. And of course, Cardi is going to release another album next month, but still, it's going to be 2 albums of 5, and she really just haven't been that active. But my top 5 female rappers is Nicki Minaj, Little Kim, Missy, MC Light, and Trina. I give Trina that 5th spot because she's underrated and she did a lot more with less than the other artists did. And she had the longevity and she was way more active. Um, and she did it with a crew who was on the come up. Most of these other artists did it with crews that was already established, crews that were already well ahead and had the budgets and the resources. But Trina definitely had that skill set, and she set the tone for the artists, the female rappers that came behind her to be able to put this music out and then talk about the content that they did. So tell me what your thoughts about Trina being a top 5 artist, and until next time, I'll see you next time.